The question tells us that it is given that z is equal to 5 plus qi satisfies the equation z squared plus iz equals minus p plus 25i, where p and q are real numbers. We are asked then to solve for p and q. Being told that z satisfies that equation, what we can tell is that if we substitute in 5 plus qi for z, then the left-hand side of the equal sign will be equal to the right-hand side of the equal sign. So first of all, what is an imaginary number? Well, imaginary numbers all came about when the question was asked, what is the square root of minus 1? Clearly the answer wasn't minus 1 because minus 1 squared was 1. The answer wasn't 1 because 1 squared is 1. Also, the answer wasn't 0 because 0 squared is 0. So clearly it does have an answer, but that answer is not on the real number line. Now, in order to then explain this further, a new number line had to be expanded. Real numbers clearly were not the only numbers that existed. We also had what are now called imaginary numbers. As an aside, I don't think this is a great name because imaginary numbers come up a lot, and I think the word imaginary can be misleading. These absolutely are numbers, and it's important to realize that. Now, going back, 1i, so one imaginary number, was defined as the square root of minus 1. You can see here that the imaginary number line is perpendicular to the real number line, and a 1 on this number line is defined as the square root of minus 1. And we give this the letter I to symbolize it. Numbers can then be composed of two parts, a real component and an imaginary component. For example, 2 plus 1i. Back to the question. So given that z is equal to 5 plus qi satisfies the equation z squared plus iz is equal to minus p plus 25i, let's go about solving for p and q. What we obviously need to do is substitute in our value for z into the z squared plus iz equation. So we have 5 plus qi, all to be squared, plus I times 5 plus qi is equal to minus p plus 25i. Multiplying out, we get 25 plus 10qi plus q squared I squared plus 5i plus qi squared is equal to minus p plus 25i. And remembering that I squared is just equal to minus 1, as by definition I is equal to the square root of minus 1. So we have 25 plus 10qi minus q squared plus 5i minus q. Tidying up a little bit, we've got 25 minus q squared minus q, which is the real parts altogether, plus 10qi plus 5i, which is the imaginary parts together. And then what's on the left-hand side of the equal sign must be equal to what's on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So the real parts are equal, so 25 minus q squared minus q is equal to minus p, and the imaginary parts are equal. So 10q plus 5 is equal to 25. Continuing with the imaginary part, we can solve for q as 10q is equal to 20, so q must be equal to 2. Substituting that in then to the real equation, we have 25 minus 2 squared minus 2 is equal to minus p. Therefore 25 minus 4 minus 2 is equal to minus p. So p is going to be equal to minus 19. Please make sure you explicitly write down what p is equal to and what q is equal to. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this tutorial made things clearer and helped you tackle this question. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to stay updated when more questions are answered. If you have any questions or need any more help, please drop a comment below and I will get back to you. Until next time, keep practicing and good luck.